But there are several historical documents, several films. Films, not Malod, as we understand, Malod. Some of the documents are filmed and they are preserved. Some of the speeches of our national leaders, Malod, whichever could be videographed in those days, are very well preserved. And Malod, we have given the disclaimer that, of course, this is based on National Archives and the white paper. But Malod, as a matter of interest, Malod, the National Archives, Malod, the officers, Malod, the Joint Secretary and others who went, well, it's worth visiting. It's very well maintained National Archives. Malod, in some of the documents, you need to maintain a particular temperature so that the document is not destroyed. Malod, every care is taken since beginning. The princely states were of two kinds. A, princely states which merge with the existing Indian provinces. They were British controlled provinces. And second, princely state which merge with states as centrally administered areas. Some of the princely states desired that we should be directly governed. Some of them were strategically so located that
they became the chief commissioners.
Chief commissioners provinces, Your Lordship, sir. The next category of princely states, this is important. Table C are the ones covered by the instrument of accession, revised instruments of accession, followed by proclamations. The distinction between the two is of terminology and not of step-by-step linear process, as a large number of states directly sign revised instrument of accession without signing the pro forma instrument of accession before that. Therefore, the same is being clubbed and expressed as table C. Princely states covered by instrument of accession or revised instrument of accession and proclamation accepting Indian Constitution. It may be noted to the limited position emanating from the National Archives and White Paper that these princely states did not sign any merger agreement. Lord, then your lordships would come to the next page. Lord, 1 to page 1 is, my lord, 1 to 32, then 33 to 65, then, my lord, 66 to 77. The lordships have, my lord? The rest is not available. Lord, please see, my lord, the states from Balasinore to Surgana were a part of one group which had a total of 144 states. They formed their own group. Therefore, my lord, they are 77 to 144. Then, my lord, total comes to 204. So, we have started with 205. It goes up to 216. Then, provincially merged Khasi states. Khasi states were essentially in the northeast, and, my lord, they are 241. Total, my lord, are 241. Then, if your lordship turns the page, this is table B. Princely states which were merged with states as centrally administered areas. Then, my lord, we have started with 242. It goes up to 302. We need not, my lord, read the names. These were, my lord, the states which were centrally notified areas. Now, my lords, may kindly come to para 7 at the foot. It is to be noted that the above agreements were signed by the Secretary, Department of States, Government of India. On signing of these merger agreements, orders under the relevant provisions of the Government of India Act were issued, giving legal force to these agreements. Then, my lord, table C. Princely states covered by instrument of accession or revised instrument of accession and proclamation accepting Indian Constitution, no merger agreements. These are, there were several states which did not sign merger agreements. My lord, which we have started from 303, taking, my lord, the list from 302 on the earlier para, and it goes on till 580. So it is 555 plus 24 because Khasi states are separately dealt with even in the white paper. Therefore, my lord, this is the total figure which became a part of Union of India when Article 1 came into force. And my lord, we have given the disclaimer that of course this is based on National Archives and the white paper. But my lord, as a matter of interest, my lord, the National Archives, my lord, the officers, my lord, the Joint Secretary and others who went, well, it's worth visiting. It's very well maintained National Archives. My lord, in some of the documents, you need to maintain a particular temperature so that the document is not destroyed. My lord, every care is taken since beginning. As an interest also, your lordships may not consider once visiting it, not for this matter, but there are several historical documents, several films not, my lord, as we understand, my lord. Some of the documents are filmed and they are preserved. Some of the speeches of our national leaders, my lord, whichever could be videographed in those days, are very well preserved. There are several maps and many, my lord, matters of historical interest. But the beauty is that since the beginning of the country, it has been preserved well.
Yes.
My lord, I was at page 47, my lord. And whatever is irrelevant, your lordships may, my lord, take it from me. Again, I have, my lord, diluted, and I will not take much time, my lord. Whatever may be relevant to be put here as a completion of chronology, I have put it. I will not read it, my lord. Page 47, my lord. Now, my lord, this is after India attains independence and the constitution is adopted. My lord, constitution is adopted, my lord, we are aware, my lord, 26th of January, 49. 26th November, 49. I'll just check up, my lord. Our impression is subject to verification. Article 1 came on that very day. From the beginning, Article 1 is there, subject to, my lord, verification. Lord, page 47, CO 10.
Yes.
I'll just orally point out what it contained two aspects. My lords are aware, my lord, Article 371A, which provided that first take the list of 3 entries which the instrument of accession maintained, that is defense, communication, etc. And the president was to find out which are the corresponding entries in the union list. Because defense can have 5 corresponding entries, communication can have wireless, telephone, etc. 5. So, my lord, first act, my lord, which I have mentioned is that, my lord, with which your lordships may directly not be concerned, just by way of, my lord, an example that the Honorable President, by this first CO, identified the entries. That these entries would fall within those 3 broad subjects which the ruler has given under the instrument of accession.